Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to another video. Okay, Josh Hokit. So if you guys watched UFC 327 over the weekend, you saw what I saw, which was a knockdown, drag-out fight between Josh Hokit and Curtis Blades. Awesome fight. Awesome. It's one of those fights that really is the epitome of a fight, because this was not like a technical match. This was a battle of wills. This was, Josh had some hard shots that he landed quick. Sorry, I just said chilaquiles. That he landed quick, like within the first minute or two of the fight, and really I thought put Curtis in a bad spot early, and I thought he was going to put Curtis away. And then you see kind of the hands down and yada yada yada. It was not as technical as it could have been, right? But this was an amazing fight, and it really put Josh over. Now, I know Josh. For a time, Josh and I were really close, like a small time, like 3 or 4 months. When he had moved to Las Vegas, that's when he originally started training in May. He was here in Las Vegas. And him and I, both wrestlers at the college level. He's since gone on to do unbelievable things in the UFC. I diverged into a different route. I stopped fighting and doing jiu-jitsu, and then I've had some injuries, so I've really focused on my real estate career. But I'm super happy for the guy. I love seeing him, achieve what he's achieving, and I don't think it could have happened to a more deserving guy. I think, Josh, gimmick aside, Josh is a great guy. He's a Christian, he's a husband, and he is a very hard worker, very much dedicated to the craft, and I love seeing it. I'm happy for him. I'm going to tell you guys here in a second a story about Josh that nobody would know, but some people see Josh and they see the gimmick, they see the like the characters that he's playing, and it's very over the top. It's very clear to see that this might not be who this person is. At the very least, it's an exaggeration. At the very most, it's a completely different person altogether. And there might be a little bit of, of both, right? He maybe is taking, I can say this, he is taking some things that he truly feels internally, like, the liberals of the NFL, right? Like, that's tongue in cheek, but it also is, there's a little truth to it, right? There's some serious belief to it. But I'll say this, I have a cool story about Josh that I want to share to kind of give you guys an insight of who Josh Hokit really is. So Josh spent some time with the 49ers. He was a practice squad guy there. But when you're, even practice squad makes like $7 grand a week. And he was there for months. I was getting ready for a fight, and I was training, and there was a guy that came in that I got to train with, and he was not very good. And I hadn't done a pro fight yet. I never did a pro fight, but this was like on a Thursday, and that guy's opponent dropped out for a Saturday fight or a Friday fight or something. It was like a day notice or 2 days notice. And Josh and I were really close at the time. And I had to go get all my medicals. I called the promoter. I said, hey, I'll fight this guy like on 1 day's notice, so the fight doesn't fall through, whatever, yada, yada, yada. Well, I get to doing all my medicals, and I was, barely paying my bills, and I didn't have, it was like $1,000 I had to pay. And the promotion wasn't paying for my card, or for my pro card, and I didn't even ask. I just was in the car with Josh. We were, driving each other to and from practice at the time, and just around. And I didn't even ask. And he said, "Hey, bro, I'll pay it. I made some money in the NFL. I've got some stuff tucked away. Like that's, a big reason I'm able to train without working. Like let me take care of it. I'll pay it." Now I ended up paying Josh back, but only because I wanted to do that, not because I needed to do that. We go. Get all my physicals, he pays it. Fight ended up falling through, but they paid me back, so I was able to pay Josh back. And, we went to that event. I actually have a picture with Joe Rogan that Josh took. It was the only time I've ever met Joe Rogan. But all that to say, Josh is a good dude. And he's a kind person. He didn't have to do that for me, and that meant a lot. Because at the time I really wanted to be an MMA fighter, and my priorities and things have shifted. But it was a cool moment. It was a cool thing, and very proud of the guy. And I'm happy that he got his bonuses. And I think it's just an interesting story to kind of let you guys in on who Josh Hokit really is as a person.